Hello, and welcome to your 20-minute beginner-friendly yoga flow. Today, we're going to get in a bit of strength, a bit of stretch, just a very well-rounded flow, best suited for all levels, but geared towards beginner-level students. No props required for this class, and we'll get started right away. You can come to Sukhasana, easy seat. Go ahead and close your eyes. Place your hands on your knees. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and then roll them down your back. Taking this first few moments of class to get in tune with the body, arrive on the mat, and maybe set a small intention for your flow. Nothing too complicated, just one word or phrase. Slowly blink your eyes open. On an inhale, reach your arms to the sky, palms touch overhead. Exhale, drag your hands through heart center. We'll do that a few more times here. Inhaling to reach your palms up overhead. Exhale, drag your hands to heart center. Inhale to reach the arms up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. And last reach here, inhale. Exhale, take a twist. Right hand will come to your left knee and left arm will come back behind. Really grow the spine nice and tall in this first twist. And then focus on twisting through the mid-back and upper back. One more inhale here. Exhale to come back to center. Inhale, reach the palms up. Hands touch. Exhale, twisting to the opposite way this time. Right arm comes back behind and left hand comes to your right knee. Take an inhale to find length through the spine, and on your exhale, sink a little deeper into the twist. One more breath here. Inhale to let go, come back to center. Inhale to reach the arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Come to tabletop pose on hands and knees. Make sure your shoulders are stacked over your wrist and your hips are in line with your knees. Spread your fingertips nice and wide, really push down through all 10 digits. We'll take cats and cows. On an inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, dome your spine, bring your chin to your chest. Inhale to let the belly drop, lift your gaze. Exhale, pull the belly button towards your lower back, pull the shoulder blades apart. Keep moving here at your own pace, matching movement to breath. A couple more rounds here. You might add some organic movements. So this could look like circling the shoulders, circling the hips, maybe taking some spinal waves. Anything that feels good here. And try not to worry too much about what this looks like on the outside. Really just tune in. And one more round of breath here. Come back to neutral tabletop. Walk your hands forward, melt your chest to the mat as you lift your hips to the sky. Puppy pose. Really try to exaggerate your armpits coming towards the mat here, making this about the upper body. You can bring your chin or your forehead to the mat. Breathing in puppy pose for one more breath. On an inhale, sit your hips down to the mat, slide forward into Sphinx pose. Slide your forearms out in front of each other so they're parallel. Grow through your heart, open the chest, lift your gaze. Now, Sphinx pose might seem like a rather passive pose, but there are some ways to engage throughout this pose. So really focus on pushing down through the tops of your feet, engaging the inner thighs, and growing up through the heart. One more breath in Sphinx. From Sphinx pose, turn your left forearm parallel, a little bit at a 45-degree angle here. Bend into your right knee, reach back with your right hand, grabbing hold of your right foot for a quad stretch. Then just pushing your right foot down as far as you're comfortable. Slowly release the right foot, bring your right forearm back parallel to your left, and turn your right forearm out at an angle, bend into your left knee, reach back with your left hand, quad stretch on the left. And exhale to release, come back through Sphinx pose. Slide your hands underneath your shoulder blades and push yourself all the way back to downward facing dog. Hips reach to the sky. Press your belly towards your thighs and feel free to bend generously into the knees. We really want to focus on a long, straight spine and down dog, and not too much on straight legs. No tension in the head or neck, really relaxed. You might shake your head no, nod your head yes, releasing any tension. If you find that down dog puts a lot of pressure on your wrist, see about turning your wrist out slightly. And really think about those wide fingertips pushing into all the digits. Lifting your belly button a little higher in towards the sky. Beautiful. Gaze forward at the top of your mat. Begin to walk your feet to your palms, meeting in a forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you'd like. Let the upper body hang heavy. You might come into ragdoll pose by grabbing opposite elbows and swaying from side to side. Release your palms to the mat. On an inhale, take a halfway lift. Shift your hands to your shins and find a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend deeply into your knees and begin to round your upper back all the way up to standing, inch by inch, taking your time. We'll meet in mountain pose, Tadasana. You can roll your shoulders down your back, let the palms shine forward. Close the eyes for a minute. Reconnecting to your intention in your mountain pose. You can think of Tadasana as a reset, a place to reground. Put your weight into your left foot, shift your eyes open. Start to pull your right knee into your chest. Flutter the eyes open. Start to shift your weight into your right foot and hug your left knee into your chest, finding your balance here. We'll slowly start to extend the left leg behind us. Feel free to take a few hops to get there. We're meeting in our high lunge. So feet are about hip width distance apart. Feel free to bend into the back knee and bend generously into the front knee. Looking down, just making sure that the right knee is over the right ankle. Shoulders stacked over hips. And try to slightly curve your tailbone towards your belly button. Lift your arms up overhead. Relax your shoulder blades down. Or maybe bring the hands to heart center, whichever you prefer. One more breath in high lunge, super strong pose. Try to press down evenly between both feet. On an exhale, turn your back foot flat, cartwheel your arms open for warrior two pose. So we want our front foot to roughly be perpendicular to our back foot. Back foot is parallel to the shorter edge of the mat. And arms are in one long line. Really relax the shoulders down away from your ears, gazing over your front middle finger. And same thing here. Think about drawing your belly button towards your tailbone. Super strong in warrior two. On an inhale, reach your right palm forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Bring your left hand to the back of your left thigh. Reach your right arm up and over. Still sinking the hips low. Think about breathing through the right side of your body, opening up through the rib cage. One more breath in your reverse warrior. Inhale, come back to warrior two pose. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot and step back to plank pose. For our first plank, you can lower your chest all the way to the ground, releasing. Shimmy your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale to lift your chest, lift your gaze for cobra. Keep the elbows bent and hugging in. Hip bones firmly grounded in the mat. And exhale, release down, pushing yourself all the way back to downward facing dog. Resetting in your down dog, take a moment to stretch it out. Maybe straighten one leg as you bend the opposite knee. Shift your gaze to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to your palms. Forward fold, releasing. Place your hands on the mat in front of you. On an inhale, shift your hands to your shins. Find a flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time, inhale, root to rise, come all the way up to standing, palms touch overhead. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center and open up to mountain. Close your eyes. Back to the breath, back to the body. And we'll prepare for our next side. You can flutter your eyes open. Begin to shift your weight into your left foot. Hug your right knee in towards your chest, finding that balance. And slowly extend your right leg behind you, maybe taking a couple hops to get there. Meeting in our high lunge, feet are hip-width distance apart. Remember, you can bend generously into the back leg. Keeping our heart over the hips. And you can grow your arms towards the sky, or maybe keep your hands at heart center. Breathing through your high lunge, super strong and grounded. One more breath. Exhale, turn your back foot flat, cartwheel the arms open, warrior two pose. And sink your hips as deep as you'd like in this warrior two. Gaze down at your top toes. Just make sure you can see your big toes And if not, you might need to open up your knee a little bit more. Gazing forward over the front middle finger. One more breath in Warrior Two. Inhale, reach your left palm forward and reverse your warrior. Right hand comes to the back of your right leg and left arm reaches up and over. Really grow the chest parallel to the room, opening up through the heart, and focusing on that nice deep stretch through the left side of your body. Last breath in reverse warrior. And back to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Cartwheel your arms down, frame your front foot, step back to plank pose. Our second option for a chaturanga, you can lower your knees to the mat and take a small push-up, keeping in mind that you want to hug your elbows in towards your body. Slowly lowering. And untuck your toes. Inhale for Cobra, keeping the elbows bent and hugging towards the midline. Chest lifts. Exhale, melt the chest to the mat and push yourself back to downward facing dog. Stretching it out. We'll all take a cleansing breath in through the nose and a loud sigh out the mouth. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale. Exhale, sigh. Releasing a loud, audible sigh is very calming to the central nervous system. And it can signal to our brains and our bodies to relax. Sit your knees down on the mat, hips back towards your heels for child's pose, forehead or chin to the mat. And coming back to your intention. Slowly lift yourself up and lower to a laying position. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe rock out the low back. Place both feet flat on the mat. Reach your right foot to the top of your left knee. Either staying here and just using your right hand to open up your right knee, or you might come into supine pigeon pose by reaching through your legs and grabbing hold of your left knee, hugging both knees into the chest. You might find stillness, or you might choose to rock out the low back, breathing through the inner thighs, through the hips. One more deep breath in pigeon pose. Slowly release your feet back to the mat and switching sides, let your left foot come to the top of the right knee, either staying here or reaching through, grabbing hold of the right knee and hugging both knees into the chest for supine pigeon. Noticing this gentle stretch in the body, taking note of how it feels. Slowly release your feet to the mat, hug your knees in towards your chest, give yourself one last hug, showing yourself some gratitude for taking the time to come to your mat today, to move your body, You can slowly release your feet to the bottom of the mat. Let your arms fall to your sides. Meeting in our final resting pose, Shavasana. And come back to the breath. Notice the gentle rise and fall of the low belly. Completely soften through the body. Let the feet fall open. Let the legs relax. Fingertips curl. No tension in the jaw. Relaxing your brow, the space between your eyes. You can stay here in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. But this is where I'll leave you today. Thank you so much, friends, for tuning in and practicing with me. And I'd love to practice again with you soon. Namaste.